$120. I replaced the pickup just because I wanted to. This thing is better than that thing is. And it's made to be junk. That's it. That's all you get. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You know, let me take the delay off a little bit. Let me make sure we got things going on here. I had to start off with something. I want to talk about this Jackson Soloist, import, whatever, crackle. So, I figured you didn't want to look at my nuts the whole time. I've had this guitar for some time now. I should have looked it up. Had it for some time. And I've been able to run it through its paces. And I gotta say, Jackson guitars, I know it's an import. And it's not from Japan. Which, you know, the Charvels and all that, amazing stuff. And some of the Jackson, like the Performer series in the 90s, the early 90s, all Japanese guitars. This thing was made in China, all right? Just like everything else is. It's a neck through, Seymour Duncan design, three-way blaze switch, tone, volume, Indian Laurel fretboard, pearl-like inlays, and your pointy headstock. Now, one thing I will disclose, let me see if I can't get it in the camera. Now, if you look real closely, there is a crack that went up the headstock. It was literally just a paddle break. It broke right here and went straight up. So all this right here, just this paddle part, gone. That's important to know, because if I don't disclose that, then people could sit there and try to claim everything I'm going to say now was based off of that, you know? And I guarantee you, I've been working on guitars, built guitars, for a long ass time, you know. And Jackson was my go-to. I loved Jackson guitars when I was growing up, you know, back when they were fucking good. Excuse the expression, but you know, I gotta call it what it is. And the reason I'm so down on this one guitar isn't because of the guitar. I can make this thing better, and we'll go over the problems with it. I could make it better, but that's the job for a $300-400 guitar. This thing was $850 new. Now, luckily, I didn't pay that. I traded a guitar for it. I traded a brand new Explorer from Epiphone that I paid $400 for on a scratch dent deal. And it didn't even have a scratch or a dent. I think it was a setup issue, because once I set it up, the thing was awesome. I just didn't jive with it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me sell it. So I put it out there for sale. No one really bid on it. And I saw this for $350 or something like that, but with the headstock paddle broken off. And I'm just like, oh, you know what? As long as the heel is fine, the neck didn't, you know, that might be a good deal. A lot of you agreed. A lot of you agreed. I'm not going to try to play as much licensed stuff anymore, but now that I've had my time with this, man, I'm disappointed. Jackson used to be an amazing company. I love Charvels, the import Charvels more than anything. Always wanted a Model 2. Model 2 red maple fretboard. A buddy of mine had one of those with that Jackson Active pickup. Can't beat it, man. I loved them. People took them out of guitar. They're fucking amazing. Now they're expensive, but so it's not that I don't like Jackson. I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of Jackson, you know? So that's why I gravitate towards this. And it's been a while since I've had one. You know, I've had American Jacksons, I've had import Jacksons, I've had a lot of Charvels. I just like Jackson. This thing's garbage. It cost $850 brand new. This is at best a $400 guitar. At best. The pickups will start there. The Seymour Duncan design. They're microphonic. $850. That's not. Whoa! That's not acceptable. Not even close to acceptable. They sound like crap. I got a ton of saturation and I have some modulation on it, and that's the only way I can get any, good sounds out of it. God forbid I try to bring the gain down. Well, Chris, it's a metal guitar. Guys, those active old Jackson pickups cleaned up nicely. I used to run in one of my guitars, it was a Seymour Duncan Invader pickup. If you've never seen one of those, it looks hot. It's got those giant pole pieces. Those clean up fine. You got a really nice bitey, almost, I don't want to call it PAF, but when you brought the volume down and you really, that was a nice pickup. These are garbage. I think they're supposed to resemble the JB 59 or the JB Jazz. I could be completely wrong on that. But even that set has a really nice dirty and clean characteristic about them, This guitar just sounds crap. It just sounds crap in every situation. Again, unacceptable for an $850 guitar. But more importantly, the electronics. I don't know what they're putting in these things. I don't expect CTS pots. I really don't. In expensive stuff. But when your three-way switch goes out within the first couple of weeks or months of playing the guitar, it was brand new when I got it aside from the headstock break. It came from a shop. And there was an unfortunate incident that happened. So this one guy bought it from his buddy. He had more. I went to go look. And said, I like that Explorer. I will trade. I offered it up, When I found out this thing was $850 brand new, I lost my shit. I was like, there's no way. There's no way they're getting away with it. And I watched a few reviews. And mind you, any soloist in this configuration from China is the same guitar. They may change the pickups here and there. Sometimes they have, they're just completely covered over with plastic. Sometimes you get these pickup looking things. But it's all the same still. They still sell this guitar, just not necessarily in a crackle finish. Consider that, okay? So it's not like this guitar is out of production. It's still current to talk about. Yeah, I don't know. The blade switch cut out on me. It's really that simple. I was just playing one day. I was playing for the love of God, And then you jam it into the like. Whatever Steve I does. I just like playing that one riff. It makes you sound like you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? I went right into the bridge position and nothing. So I fixed that. I shouldn't have done that, but I don't have any warranty on this thing. And again, it had a paddle break. Now the pots are cutting out and stuff. I checked the electronics. Everything's fine there. It's just the poor craftsmanship of the pots themselves. The volume knob keeps going loose, which is a common thing with budget guitars, and that's not a big deal. You just get this knob off. This one happens to have an Allen screw, so you undo the Allen screw and this will pop right off. Then you have to go in from the back to hold the pot, and then you just cinch it down. Even with me doing that 3 or 4 times carefully, and then using a little bit of, a little Loctite, fucking loose again. So let's recap. Sounds like crap. Oh, I forgot to tell you, it plays like crap. The string keeps coming off the fretboard on the high and the low E sometimes. I don't have that problem with any of my other guitars. Well, no, one, and that's because the bridge was put in the wrong place. So I got the electronics working to a point where, if I were to go out and play, I think I would be almost comfortable doing it. And if it wasn't for all that saturation, it wouldn't sound as good as it does. And it doesn't sound that good at all, to me anyway. Now, through here it might sound differently, and to your taste, you may dig it, but not to me. Not to me. I've had cheaper guitars that have sounded and played way better. It stays in tune. I'll give it that. The 40-row Special or 1000, whatever it is, people pick on them. They do the job. I mean, the components that actually mechanically do something, you know, physically, I should say, they'll wear out. You can buy titanium replacements for no money. So the bridge itself is fine. It's just, it doesn't feel cheap. It just performs cheap. If I were to gut all this and then replace all this stuff, I bet you this could be a decent guitar. But it was $850. That's something you do to a sub $500 guitar. Unless, of course, there was a specific brand of pickups that you like, you know, whatever. I could replace the pickups on this, which I was going to do, but I'm not going to put the money into it. I'm going to try to get rid of this thing. I'm going to try to fire sell it. You know, it's, I don't know. It's just disappointing, and the reason is because Jackson guitars used to be the creme de la creme. I mean, it was them and Ibanez, like, you know. And I always looked at it this way, like Jackson was the Gibson of my day, and Ibanez was the Fender of my day. Maybe it's just my head. But at this price point, it's for a working musician. And if I were a working musician, I'd be fucking furious that this is what I paid $850 for. Jackson, fix your shit. Please. Please. You guys used to be the kings in my book. Not anymore. Guys, let me know what you think. Do you have one of these soloist style guitars? Doesn't have to be the Crackle. Again, they're all the same. You know, pickups may be different, and the color of the hardware might be different, but either way, it's the same freaking guitar. Let me know what you think in the comments. Jackson, if you're watching, poop on you. Guys, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Leave me feedback. Thumbs up, thumbs down. All feedback to the creep is positive. Thank you always so much for watching. I can't say that enough. Until next time, wherever in the world you are, I hope you're doing well. Take care. Creep it real. And bye-bye. This thing is disappointing. I lost out on this one.